You know, if I went downtown Austin and I got attacked by 40 BLM protesters and I unloaded a magazine,
why don't you go do that?
I would go to jail.
Why don't you go do that?
Because I don't want to go to jail.
Exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly.
It's a two-tier justice system. That's what I'm saying.
No, you don't go and drive down there because you know it will get violent, and you.
No, that's not what I said.
No, you won't. You do not go down there because you know that it will get violent, and you will end up having to defend yourself.
Someday, everyone will realize I was right about that. I understand why people don't want to admit it because it was not a good situation, and that kid was clearly not mentally correct. But my point is that if you don't have justice in this country, if you're a conservative, you can't defend yourself. You can't defend yourself from a mob. You basically have to get there and you have to take murder. You're not allowed to defend your life. You have to get murdered.
Within the past 20 days, 120 black people have been killed by police. Within the last week,
that is literally a lie. That is, you're literally making things up. Watch the news.
Yes, sir.
What news do you watch? What news? Biden sucks.
So again, that was just the lady.
Trump those bitches. Fighting in Chicago with drugs. That was all done by Democrats. Like
what about the black baby? Black baby. How come you don't care about
I just did. How many blacks every single weekend in the major cities? You're killing yourselves. We love you. Donald Trump loves you.
So again, this lady comes up to me and says, cops kill black people every day, 20 a day, and that black people are being lynched every day in America. And she really believed it. And she really believed it. Now, I don't even know where she gets that information. She says she watches the news. I don't even see the news reporting that much lies. I mean, it's close, but that's kind of next level stuff. But, you know, you may remember the guy at the mall who jumped the black guy who jumped the white guy and attempted to murder him at the mall and said, oh, he called me at the N-word. Well, guess what? Now the police are not going to press charges because he claims that he said the N-word. So guess what, folks? Now any black person that wants to beat your ass is just going to claim you said the N-word, and then they get carte blanche to murder you. And so that's the left now. So it's total racism. In fact, I'll be honest with you. America is more racist ever right now in this millennium. America has never been more racist in this millennium ever, and it's all directed against white people. That's it. America is more racist than in any of our lives, and it's all directed at white people. And so now, again, if a black guy wants to just come up to you and attempt to murder you, that's okay. He just gets to say, oh, well, he called me the N-word, and then you don't get a day in court. And but you know, here's the thing, even if he did say that, I don't know, does that allow you to attempt to murder somebody? I don't know. So that's another interesting side question, but there you go. So that's the precedent set now, Savannah.
Very sad. I hate seeing stories like this. I hate seeing videos like this because, again, it does just break my heart that we've come so far as a country to the point where watching a white man getting beat in the street is now considered justice. Watching someone who is innocent, like this man right here, is considered justice because they're white. Because of their white skin, they're racist, they're a misogynist, they're sexist. Pick a name, and that's what they are because they're white. And I mean, it goes back to like Chop and Chaz too. I don't know if you guys played this today, but they had segregated areas for black people only. And it's just so hilarious to me how we basically come full circle. We have segregation now. We have people, yes, being lynched in the streets. Again, it's white people. It's ridiculous. It's very sad. They're being targeted exclusively for their skin, and it's now being seen as justice.
Look, if you're white out there and you're in a Democrat-run city, you better like learn karate or Krav Maga, learn how to use a weapon if they allow you, if they haven't taken that right. Because nobody's stopping these mobs, folks. Nobody's stopping them. They're getting enabled more every day. So I'm just telling you, man, that nobody's stopping these mobs. They're only getting more empowered. The anti-white hate crimes are continuing, and they're only going to get worse. So if you're white and you're in a Democrat city, I would, train in karate, self-defense, get a firearm, a concealed carry, because you're now a target and you don't get a justice system to defend you. So just deal with that however you would like. That's what's going on now. And they'll just say, oh, he called me the N-word. It's like the guy could be mute. Could be a mute white guy, and you pop him in the head. Oh, he called me an N-word. And he's like, no, I heard him say it. It's like, no, he's diagnosed a mute, sir. He thought it, though. He thought about calling me that N-word. And say, oh, well then, yeah, certainly. You should try to kill him then. Oh, and by the way, a University of Georgia professor says, well, white people are just going to have to die for black people to feel that things are even. Like, and then he like defends himself. It's like, oh, I'm not saying that's, good. I'm just saying that's the truth. But he's not even telling you what he's really saying. Folks, what he's saying is black people just want white people dead. That's what he's saying. Think about it. Like, he said it, and then he doesn't even realize what he's saying. It's like, no, black people want to kill white people. Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't say it's a good thing. I'm just saying. It's like, well, what are you saying? That's what he's saying. It's just incredible. I don't know. I just don't know what to do, honestly. That's what I'm saying. It's like every day, it's like I look for an area farthest away from the Democrats where they're not going to make me wear a mask. I don't have a bunch of race baiting. I don't have protesting, just Americans living together. But
well,
no.
I mean, can we even find a place like that now in America?
Yeah, you got to go out into the country.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and coming on here and just hearing you talk about all of this stuff too is just so, again, the police can't do anything. You can't defend yourself. You can't even say anything if you're white. You can't think the wrong thing. Our historical monuments are being destroyed. Businesses are being looted. People are being murdered in the streets. And who's holding people accountable? No one. It's complete chaos in the streets. Our president is not leading us. The police aren't allowed to do anything. Our politicians have failed us. Actually, a lot of our Democrat politicians have us exactly where they want us. What the hell's going on? I mean, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We literally had BLM burning down the Texas and American flag in front of APD. And what did our police chief do? Not a damn thing. Why? Because BLM owns these streets and they want you to know it, that's why there's Black Lives Matter painted across the major downtown areas in big cities like Washington, D.C., like here in Austin, Texas, because Black Lives Matter owns these streets, because a lot of American patriots and gun owners aren't going to go stand up because, again, and me and Greg talked about this, because I do want to go to APD and stand up and say, you know what, I stand with the police. And Greg was like, the reason why a lot of people won't do that is because they have to show that restraint. Because at the end of the day, if you have your Second Amendment and you go out and you try to stand up for what's right, you try to have your own voice, and someone comes attacks you, like I said, again, people are having to learn the hard way that if you go and attack a gun owner, you're going to get shot. If you go and attack a car, you're going to get run over. And
no, but remember, and I said this, and I fell under attack even from my own crew when they put that kid in jail when he floored his gas after all those BLM protesters climbed on his car. Now, I don't know, but are you going to admit I was right about that?
No, I'm not going to admit you were right about that. And we can debate this all day because he knowingly went there. He even posted a meme about running people over.
So if
that is completely different from going and driving in the car. No. These people are literally driving in the street. They see a big-ass BLM protest, and they get caught up in it. This man knowingly went to this rally, knowing what that was about, posted a meme about running people over. How are you going to completely ignore all of that? Because I'm not going to say that you were right about that, because to this day, you are not.
So that's fine. So when you go out and you're in the car and 100 people jump on your car and shatter your windshield, you should just die.
If I knowingly drove into a BLM protest, knowing they were going to be there, posted a meme and it was a pre-planned thing.
You're not getting the point, Savannah. The point is it's a two-tier justice system. You're not allowed to defend yourself unless you're... See, that's what it is. Maybe we should all just join the leftist liberal slave cult, because that's the only way you get to do anything in this country.
Okay, but there's a difference between premeditated action and driving into... It's not that these people can't defend themselves.
You're missing the point.
Okay.
You know, if I went downtown Austin and I got attacked by 40 BLM protesters and I unloaded a magazine...
Why don't you go do that then?
I would go to jail.
Why don't you go do that?
Because I don't want to go to jail.
Exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly.
It's a two-tier justice system. That's what I'm
you
saying.
don't go and drive down there because you know it will get violent, and you...
No, that's not what I said.
No, you do not go down there because you know that it will get violent and you will end up having to defend yourself.
Someday, everyone will realize I was right about that. I understand why people don't want to admit it, because it was not a good situation, and that kid was clearly not mentally correct. But my point is that if you don't have justice in this country, if you're a conservative, you can't defend yourself. You can't defend yourself from a mob. You basically have to get there and you have to take murder. You're not allowed to defend your life. You have to get murdered. So James Fields should have sat in his car and let them break into his car and murder him. That's the only thing he should have done that day. He should not have tried to driven away. He should not have had a gun to defend himself. He should have been murdered.
Knowingly and premeditatively drove into that protest.
Tell me what he should have done.
Not put himself in a situation.
Tell me what he should have done. Well, he was in this situation.
Would you drive your car into this mob like this? No. And we took the InfoWars thing.
What should he have
Why?
done? What should he have done?
He should
What
have
he
not put himself in that situation.
What should he have done in this situation?
He
Should have been
premeditatedly
murdered.
said he was going to murder.
You're right. He should have been
run
murdered.
people over.
James Fields should have been the martyr. You were talking about going down to Austin to be a martyr. James Fields should have been a martyr. He wouldn't have been in jail today. Yeah, Savannah Hernandez has been black for a half hour. She's already a liberal now. That
You know
didn't
what?
take long.
I'm allowed to have a difference of opinion on this, okay?
You need to listen to Kanye West. Slave pace here. Malik Obama retweeted an InfoWars video about 4 hours ago. Guess which one he retweeted? The InfoWars video of Michelle Obama's package bouncing around. Oh, yeah, baby. Well, that's just how it goes. So Malik Obama tweets out the InfoWars video of Michelle Obama's big old package. What do you think about that, Savannah?
You know I hate the subject. I'm not commenting on it.
But Malik Obama tweeted it out. He's black. He's black, so he can do that, and it's good, right?
Based off of logic in 2020, yes, you're right.
So there's Michelle Obama with her man lover Barack. She gives a little scratch, she gives a little crotch scratch too. They get a little itchy sometimes. So she gives it the old crotch scratch. And then the flaccid just kind of, bounces up and down in the loose-fitting silk. And Malik Obama tweets it out. Hey, last week he tweeted out Barack Obama's Kenyan birth certificate. This week he tweets out Michelle Obama's package. I wonder what Malik Obama will tweet out next. All right, ladies and gentlemen. There's all kinds of stuff that we have that we didn't get to. Florida man refuses to wear a mask in Walmart. Just all the police stand downs leading to just mass rioting and murders in the streets. It's what the Democrats want. Just real quick, remember I spoke at the local Travis County committee meeting here, and it's still causing waves, ladies and gentlemen. The Texas Democrats are pissed. They wrote a whole story about how the Republicans dared to let me speak. They did a whole tweet thread about it as well. This is, by the way, over a week after I did it. And then the Red State wrote a story about it too. Even conservatives are attacking me for it. Whatever. Y'all are so behind the times, you can't even realize it. Like, we're lapping you. I'm literally lapping you intellectually, and you can't even figure it out yet. But that's fine. The point is, folks, this is America's last stand. InfoWars is America's last stand. We are the leaders to win back this republic. They know it. That's why we're target number one. I mean, it's weird to think, like, the most rich and powerful men in America, who happen to all be white, they all hate me. Bill Gates, Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey kind of has a love-hate, but they literally hate us. The most rich and powerful white men in the world all hate InfoWars. So think about that. What do you think about that, Savannah?
Not surprising based off of what I've seen being here for the past 2 years, always ahead of the curve. And, there's been a lot of times, too, that I'll admit that I'm like, these guys are crazy. What are they saying right now? And then what happens? And it happens every single time, like 2, 3, 4 months later, maybe even a year later, it comes out exactly what we were reporting. But again, later on, and it happens every time. It really does.
All right. We were having a heated debate in the break, but we'll leave it in the last segment. And we'll all just admit I was right. Now, here's a couple developing stories right now. Good. Hundreds of Michigan residents turn over unsolicited ballot applications sent to dead, non-citizens, and underage voters. Oh. Hundreds of New Jersey Republicans receive misprinted ballots listing only Democrat candidates. It's Trump that wants to steal the election.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought these stories up too, because right before I got on, I got an email from the Women's March that talked about how Trump needs to be permanently suspended from Twitter and how his whole entire, just all his tweets need to be taken down because he keeps on pushing that mail-in voter fraud is a real thing and that election rigging is a real thing, when obviously that's false and he's pushing lies on the American people.
Well, this is another thing where I'm telling you, we have to really do something probably unprecedented in human history since, was it Caligula's horse, I think? I mean, I'm serious, folks. Like, we may have to slice our IQ in half 10 times to get to the IQ level of these liberals and play in their playing field. Because I'm not even kidding you. Like, the only way I think we can have a fair election is if we convince the left that of course, they already think Trump is trying to rig it, but we have to convince them that the only answer is actual voter ID and paper ballots. Say, oh, Trump's going to steal the election with the electronic voting machines. He controls the electronic voting machines. We can't have that. Trump's going to rig the mail-in voting. He's in charge of the system that mails them out. We can't have that. We can only have paper ballots with voter ID. Otherwise, Trump will steal the election. That's the only way the average liberal will go along with it. Of course, the irony is the actual Democrats who know the plan to steal the election will freak out because they're the ones pushing for the mail-in voting because they're the ones trying to cheat. So it's kind of like, oh, blame Trump for COVID. Maybe they'll quit making you wear a mask. Oh, blame Trump for trying to steal the election. Maybe they'll go to paper ballots. It's the only way I can think of to deal with these people because we're not getting any leadership on any of these issues.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that would be the best way to do it. Just kind of spin it and use their own logic against them. But like you said, we're going to have to stoop pretty low for that. So better get started now.
Well, I'm just trying to do anything to save this country. And like I said, leadership seems to be lost in the pale.